Hello everyone. In this lesson, you are going to see how we can create a simple Node application using Laravel and MySQL. So let's get started. First thing, I'm going to create a new folder in my desktop for our application. So I'm going to name it as Node tab. Okay. So we can open that using Visual Studio Code. Now we have to create the Laravel project. We can run the command composer create -project, and we have to say this is Laravel /Laravel, and you have to specify the project name. We can say not -app or whatever. Now the project is being created. Okay. Now if we check ls, now we have not -app. We can go to that not app using cd command. Now we are in the Node tab. Okay. So the next step is we can go ahead and run php artisan serve to open the default web page. Okay, this is the default page. Let's open the Visual Studio Code again, and we have to do cancel this current running process by pressing Ctrl and C in your keyboard. You can type the command cp.env.example and .env. The copy of .env.example will be created as .env. Press enter. Now if you go ahead and check the current .env file, here we can see app key, some key is there. Now if you press enter, now you can see something has changed. Okay. Now the .env file contains these database details. So you can uncomment these by pressing command and / in Mac. If you're using Windows, you may try Control and /. Okay. Here you have to change the database name. DB database is equals to something like not_app or whatever database name you need, and you can change this database connection type to MySQL because we are using MySQL. Okay. Alright. So we are going to make a model for our node because we are allowing user to create a node using this web application. PHP artisan make : model, and after that we have to provide the model name that we want to create. Model name is node, and after that it will be created in the app folder, in the models folder. We can execute this. But remember, if you are going to run this command without entering the flag -m after the model name, the migration file will not be created in the database folder, in the migrations folder. Okay. So that means you will not be able to create the database table dynamically for the model name that you create, which is the node. So don't forget to enter -m after the model name. So let's run that. Now the model name is created, not model, and the migration file is created. Now we can change this schema to provide what are column names. For example, in the table we may need a column called title for our node. We can say string, it will be a string, and type title, the column name, and after that semicolon. And let's provide another column. We can use text for that because it will be a large string. So using a string will not be suitable for a large content. Okay, so the content is the column name for our node content. Okay, now here the timestamps, let's add that to below of content. Now in the terminal you can run PHP. Now the next step is, in the terminal you have to run the command PHP artisan migrate. Let's execute that. Now that shows us an error. Okay, that because there are no such connections for MySQL. Here if we go ahead and check this .env, we are using the database type as MySQL. Currently my MySQL server is not running. So you can use XAMPP or WAMP server or whatever that allows you to run MySQL server. So I'm going to open XAMPP and go to manage servers. I had to start MySQL database. Similar thing you had to do in Windows. Start MySQL database and Apache web server. Now you may go to phpMyAdmin, type localhost and then /phpMyAdmin. Now currently there are no such database called node. So in the Visual Studio Code we can rerun the command php artisan migrate. Okay, it asking us whether we have to create it. Click yes, press enter. Okay, now let's refresh our phpMyAdmin. Now here the node app is created. We have the nodes table containing the title content as the column names. Okay, so in the Visual Studio Code we are going to create the controller. It will be added in the app folder in HTTP, and controllers, inside that it will be created. So for that we can run the command php artisan make controller, and the controller name as node controller. Okay, so if you add the flag --, resource, oops, before that the php artisan should not be artisan, it should be artisan. Okay, so adding the --, resource flag when creating a controller in Laravel, it generates a controller class with predefined methods that correspond to the typical CRUD operations: create, read, update, and delete. So this provides a convenient starting point for building a RESTful controller. Okay, now let's execute that command. Now we have the node controller and it have index, create, store, show, edit, and update, and destroy function. Okay, so in the index function we are going to say $nodes. That means we are going to retrieve all nodes from the database. Set that equals to the model name, which is node. So to use that, here in the top we have to say use app backslash models here, app models, and we have the node. Then here it is node. Now everything is fine. To retrieve all data, all we have to do just say colon all, and then parentheses, finally semicolon. Now we will have all nodes to this nodes variable, and we can return a view now by saying return view. Currently we don't have any view, we have to create it. So here in the resources, in the view, we are going to create a new folder called nodes. In that, I'm going to create the file index.blade.php, and it is okay. So in the parentheses, we can go ahead and say the view is in the nodes folder. In the view, we have the nodes folder that I'm going to put nodes here, and after that use the view index. Okay, so we have to send these nodes to that view. For that, we are using an argument called compact. For the compact, we have to pass in these nodes. Alright, now let's go to the index.blade.php, and here we can say something like div. We can go ahead and say at for each. So we are going to read the nodes variable that we are sending the data. So let's take nodes and taking each node as node, and after that we can show the title of the node. Let's use h5 for that, and so indent tag of it h5, I can say braces and braces, and after that accessing the node and say this hyphen, then angle bracket, and taking the title. In the database we have this title, so use it. Alright, so let's use the content column to show the node. For that we can use the paragraph tag p, put braces and braces, dollar symbol, node, and taking the content. Alright, currently we don't have anything in our database table. We are going to add some data. We are going to say the title as, let's say, hello to my first node. This is my first node, and I am really happy to see this. Okay, that's the content. Let's add that. Here we have our node. Then in the routes, if you go to here in the routes folder, go to web.php, you will see the root path is that welcome page that's created by Laravel. We don't need it. We have to change that. So then what we can do, uncomment this one, we can say route colon resource. We are going to say the path as /, so it will be the root path, and the argument will be node controller. We can say node controller colon class, and finally semicolon. Okay, now let's go ahead and run the application. PHP artisan serve. Execute that command. Now let's see. I'm going to refresh the page. Okay, now we are seeing the error no application encryption key has been specified. So what we can do, go to your editor, and in the terminal you are going to run the command php artisan key colon generate. So it will fix the issue by generating the new application key. Let's refresh. So we had to run the application php artisan serve. Okay, now we are seeing another error. Target class node controller does not exist. Go to your routes here web.php. In the top you have to say use app. In the app folder we have http. In that we have controllers. This one controllers and backslash finally node controller. Alright, so remember you have to provide the controller name exactly here, so you can use that below. Before we are going to rerun the application, here we have to add the ending for each at and end for each. Okay, let's see the application again. Now we can see the first node, hello to my first node. So what we have to do next is add new node button and edit the current node and delete the current node, like that. So I'm going to stop this video for now, and you will be able to see the next development stages, and you will be able to see what are next development stages in my future videos. So I will include the complete video playlist of this node web app development using Laravel and MySQL in the video description, so you can refer that playlist to see future videos. Okay, if you are enjoying these videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.